Habit 4, to think win-win, is the habit of mutual benefit. And in habit 4, we see it sit on the maturity continuum as we move from dependence to independence to interdependence. Habit 4 is the attitude to think win-win. And then habit 5 is the skill to seek first to understand and then to be understood. And habit 6, to synergize, is actually the result that we're going for. Now, in habit 4, there are 3 principles of effectiveness. The first is mutual benefit, the second is fairness, and the third is abundance. Now, when we apply the 7 habits, the first thing that we'll notice for habit 4, as with all of them, is that there are common paradigms and effective paradigms. The common paradigm here is there is only so much, and the more you get, the less there is for me. The effective paradigm is there is plenty out there for everyone and even more to spare. The common practices, so the way we see the world is our paradigm, and then what we do is the practices, and these impact what we get. The common practices are to compare, compete, and feel threatened by other people's success, be insensitive to the needs and wants of others, or relinquish your needs and wants to the demands of others, consider only your needs, or expect to either win or lose. Now, the highly effective practices here are to have an abundance mentality, balance courage and consideration, consider other people's wins as well as your own, and create win-win agreements. Now, typically what happens is people work out of these 4 points of view. It's to win-lose, lose-win, lose-lose, or win. Now, if it's win-lose and it's a win for me and a lose for you, I don't think you want to hang around in this relationship for very long. Just like if it's a lose for me and a win for you, I'm happy to go for a few losses at first in order to build a win-win outcome, but I'm not going to hang around forever unless we can get to win-win. In fact, that would end up being lose-lose is where it will go, because we won't want to work together. And then there's just straight win, which we're not even considering the win for the other party. All of these end up in lose-lose eventually. The only mature approach is to go for win-win thinking, where we are balancing courage and consideration, or no deal, where we can both respectfully come to a point where we realize that working together doesn't make sense, and so therefore we can part ways joyfully and respectfully. That is a really mature outcome. Now, in this next video, we're going to share a bit of a fun example of how win-lose thinking really poisons our mind, and how once we shift to win-win thinking, the outcomes are abundant.
A wager on that, don't you think? Yeah. So who should we get to fund the wager? Fiona not here, actually. She can fund it. So if you win 20 pesos. Okay. If I win 20 pesos. No, we can do this. Okay. Right, intimidate the stage. Yeah. Are you ready? Okay. Take the strain. Go. It's faster if we both win. Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and thanks very much for David Morrow for being such a good sport and making a few pesos in that example. But have a look how it changed, right? As soon as we open up this idea that it's better if we win together in that arm wrestle, it could become just unstoppable, the potential of what's possible when we work together. Where else can we apply win-win thinking? That's our challenge and our opportunity. Now, the highly effective practice here is to have an abundant mentality. This is how you get to the win-win thinking. It's not about saying, hey, there's a pie with some slices to share and there's not enough, and we've got scarcity in our thinking. Rather, we're going for abundance. Let's actually find new and better ways where everyone can win together. After this is to balance courage and consideration. Now, courage is about having a willingness and ability to speak your thoughts and feelings respectfully. Consideration is about having the willingness and ability to seek and listen to others' thoughts and feelings with respect. Next in the highly effective practices is consider other people's wins as well as your own. One of the most basic ways to do this is to actually create a T-chart example. And think about a particular situation, and on one side of the T-chart, write, what would make this a win for you? Write down those examples. That's how you get the courage to actually speak up. And then take the moment to pause and write on top what would make this a win for the other person. there we get the consideration list. Now, by doing that preparation around a specific scenario, you'll be able to walk into a situation that requires win-win thinking and be more effective. And after you practice that a few times, that T-chart will start to appear in your head, and you can start to consider the other party as well as have the courage to speak for yourself. Now, the fourth of the practices that are highly effective here is to create win-win agreements. And here at GoTeam, we go really deep on this one. The win-win agreement is either a formal or informal structure to clarify and manage expectations between both parties or multiple parties. It is a result of thinking win-win. And we apply this through the Huddleboard app. You'll be able to access it with the win-win agreements. And we share a range of statistics so we have an understanding of our progress. We have statistics around holding your huddles. We have feedback, 360 feedback from leader and teammates so that you can have their voice heard and learn about it. You also get to share your own feedback around your self-evaluation. There are your objective key results and X Factor scoreboards and KPIs coming soon as well, or maybe by the time you watch it, they'll be in there. So you can see just how well you're doing at your winnable game. There's compensation and benefits, a learning path, and the call to action section, which is all about setting what will be the win for you across the next period and a win for the company or your client-facing organisation as well. All of that is wrapped together where we meet online, and they're available either quarterly or every 6 months with our win-win agreements. There's a formal structure for it, and you can have informal structures as well. You can create win-win agreements at home. So for example, if you're working from home, clarify the expectations around having Q2, quiet, focused, flow state time to deliver results, and let the family know that you'll meet with them afterwards and have great time with them that's focused to benefit them. That way everybody can win, you get time to focus on delivering great results, and you give great purposeful quality time with the family as well, rather than the two getting all mixed up.